Hi everybody. We just finished a pair programming session for homework 0 part 0 of Saas course. But unfortunately, we were unable to record it properly. So I'm just recapping the exercise so that I can submit it as part of my assignment. I have set up my virtual machine on my Windows box and I was able to run my program. Now we'll just go through the homework 0 for a recap. Let me drag the virtual machine to the screen share. So this is my virtual machine on which the Ruby program is set up. There are three problems in the first exercise. The first one is to write a small method that takes an array and returns the sum of its elements. I have used the inject method as part of that is available as part of the enumeration package of array. The default value I'm setting it up as 0. It takes a block as the argument, and in the block we have two parameters, the sum and member. The inject method, when it iterates over each element of the array, passes the member, and we use that member to increment the sum variable, and as this is the last expression to be evaluated, it will be returned. The sum variable here is called memento. We have initialized it with 0. I have written three cases for it. I have one case where I am passing a negative value. So 10 is the first element and minus 9 is the second element. The sum of it should be 1. So I am evaluating this condition, and if this condition returns true, then the exception will not be raised. If this expression returns false, then a error will be raised. Similarly, the second example is to take an array as input and return the sum of its two largest elements. What I did is to reuse the function that is available, which is just written. So the array is the input. I am sorting it. So this will return a ascending order elements of the array. I am reversing it so that I will get the array in a descending order. I will take the first two elements of it and I will pass it to the sum function to return the sum of it. The implementation provided by Ruby handles the boundary conditions. So if I pass an empty array is sent to the sum function, which again will give me a 0 as a default value, which satisfies the requirement. I have one case in which I have passed a lot of elements. 9 and 8 are the maximum elements. So the sum is 17. This also is success. The third function is a function that returns a boolean. It takes two arguments, an array and a number. The expectation from the function is to go through the elements of the array and find if there is any permutation that is equal to the number that is passed. Like if we have 4 elements in the array, we should see if the sum of any two elements in that array match the second parameter. And the expectation is if an empty array or a single element array should return false. So what I did is if the size is less than 2, I'm returning false. And I have done a performance optimization that if the sum of the maximum 2 elements is less than the number, then we don't have to look at the array. We can straight away return as false. There is a permutation method available as part of the enumeration package or as part of the arrays package. It returns me an individual array of size 2. So each array I am using the sum method that is defined before, and once I get the sum of the 2 elements in that array, I am comparing it with the second parameter, and if it is true, I am returning true immediately, and I am breaking it and I am returning it. If not, the initial value of false will be returned. There are some more test cases for it. Let me run this program and see if it executes properly or not. So Ruby is the command. You see, there are no errors returned. Let me change one test case and see if that error is returned or not. Now I will see that if I change this test case as not equal to, this should fail and return an error. If I run again, see one runtime error comes. I have submitted this assignment and it successfully gets executed. This completes the part 0. I will finish part 2 and 3 tomorrow. Thank you.